leapfrog, as they say. We have from Alsace, Benjamin Lewis, speaking about how to have a zero abuse registry, which is quite the accomplishment. So, thank you, Benjamin, for joining us.
Thank you.
Also, for the next two sessions, the board of directors from ICANN, Maarten, he is generous moderator. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that. Basically, I'm here to welcome Benjamin and also Kieran later on. The intent of my presence here is also to emphasize the importance of looking ahead, importance of setting a statement, being aware of a future that is even longer out there, where things need to be secure, because pressure will only go up, the importance of domains will only go up, so we need to be well set. And I think Benjamin is one of the people who are really working on that by setting the stage for a GeoTLD that is really exemplary in that. So I'd love you to tell us more about your proposition and very much also what you think you do to make it of the public interest to the future.
Thank you, Maarten. Hi, everybody. My name is Benjamin. As you can hear it, I'm French. I'm based in Strasbourg, on the east of France. And I'm going to speak about geographic TLDs and especially .Alsace, the TLD I run. So, no, this side. A few words about my company called Sparkling. The company is managing the top-level domain .Alsace, as I told you, but I'm not the real registry, okay? The owner of the TLD is a public authority. It's a region Grand Est in France, okay? And at the beginning, it's the region who decided to, the name of the region was Alsace, and now the region has been merged with two others to build a bigger one called Grand Est. So it's quite difficult because the name is not anymore the same. So the owner is Region Grand Est. I'm a part of the GeoTLD group inside the GNSO at ICANN I work with. And I'm the co-organizer of 3 events in France too, called NDD Camp in Paris next week, in Strasbourg and in Rennes. Strasbourg is an international one. You're welcome, it's in March of next year. So I'm the founder of the company Sparkling. So, few picture of Alsace, so maybe you will have the idea to come to visit us. This was Colmar. So, why a public authority as a region accept to build a top-level domain? It was in 2012, okay? So, more than 10 years earlier. So first, when they say go, they say, okay, go, but the first but is we don't want any problems with that. We don't want to be on the newspapers because the top-level domain with our name could have some problem of scams or other. So first condition, no abuse. We don't want any abuse, okay? So that's a political question. After that, they want the .Alsace to protect and respect the values of Alsace. Alsace is a very old region with a huge cultural background, and the idea was to respect and to push and to promote those values. Then it was to make, with this .Alsace, a real tool for the digital sovereignty, okay? It's quite difficult because the name now is Grand Est, so. But then the protection of the right holders, okay? That's quite clear. And then push the local public authorities, cities, terroirs and others to go to use .Alsace to protect them. So that was the condition for the go. So what we made, we built the .Alsace on 5 pillars, who are the price, and of course that's probably the main solution to get to be a low abuse registry. Okay, if you put a high price, you won't have too much abuse. So to build policies with the respect of local stakeholders, to check all the registrations. Okay, so we are checking every day all the new domains, and we are checking if they are respecting our rules. Intervention in case of abuse, I will explain that later, and market identity, I will show you what happened in Alsace. So here are the 5 pillars I will show you now. So this is Königsburg, the famous castle in Alsace. Beautiful, you can visit it. So the price. I could finish the presentation with the price in a way. All the geographic TLDs are expensive in a sense because we are all at the same, around the same price, 30 euros, okay, the price for registrars. So in a way, that's the first explanation of why we don't have abuse. It's because the price is very high and somebody want to make scams will use low price TLDs, okay? What we are doing too to our customers and registrants. So we are spending some time on conferences and others to explain what is Alsace and to show them, to explain them that domain names got a value, a real value. And we are pushing on that. So your domain name got a value. And not only if you want to sell it a few years after, it's a value for you. It protects your brand, it protects your terroirs, etc. So, I gave you some statistics about the uses of the TLD. So as you can see, we have a nice level of websites and very high low of renew. Or 1 year, for those who like white. Then our policies. I don't see the well. The rule for Alsace is that if a registrant doesn't respect our rule or is not very clear with what you want to do with Alsace, we are able to reject the owner, okay, the registrant. I'll give you one example. If somebody somewhere else on the world is registering Riesling, everybody know Riesling, famous wine, Riesling.Alsace, okay, and he cannot prove that he's somebody who will do something nice and respectful and he's got an interest of for having these domains, okay? For example, he's a part of the vineyard, we will reject him, okay? So we are able to ask you to prove that you have a link. It's not to prove that you are in Alsace, it's to prove that you have a link, okay? For example, if Microsoft got Microsoft.Alsace, maybe they have some guys in Alsace, but they have customers, they are making ads, they have lots of activities in Alsace. So that's enough for us. Another example with Huawei, a Chinese brand, they are building a huge factory in Alsace. So it's enough for us too. Okay, it's not just to have an address in Alsace. Local stakeholders. So, as I told you, in Alsace we have lots of small cities, terroirs, geographical indication, food specialty, drinks, wine, beer, etc., etc. So we built something, a large protection for them. So we blocked lots of domains like wine.Alsace, beer.Alsace, and we allocated them to the syndicate or a company who are federating those entities. Okay, for example, we are famous for asparagus. There is an association for all the producers in Alsace. So they got asperge.alsace, and they made a website. So we are protecting all those. We have some domains who are definitely blocked. Okay, it's, I don't know, rape, things like this. We don't want to see them on our zone. And we are trying to make some project with local chamber of commerce or chamber of craftsmen, etc., to push newcomers on the business to use and to register .alsace. It's quite difficult to make them work together, but we did it. It's Colmar. Registration. So as I told you, we are checking every new domains every day. So it's easy because we are a very small TLD, okay, so we can do it every day. We are checking on detail for all the foreign registrants. If it's a brand, if it's something like this, it will be, of course, it will be okay. For brands, it's, as I told you, if you're a big, large brand, you just want to protect the name, we won't ask anything. Egisheim, very nice. Okay, in case of abuse, we have a protocol here that can go until the deletion of the domain. Okay, so we launched .alsace in 2015. Okay, since this time, we never had a real abuse case. Okay, the only case we had was spam. And when we check who is the guy, usually it always was a local company, a butcher or something like this, who wanted to make an emailing to its customers, and the emailing was not very good, and Orange or Gmail or another operator blacklist the domain name. Okay, so we are calling them, sending an email to say, hey, you are blacklist, please check with your web agency. To make what you need to stop this blacklist. Okay, so we are spending lots of time to explain why, how, and usually they don't know who you are, what is blacklist, what is spam. It's okay. So just usually it's the web agency that made the mistake. Okay, so if it's something different, we can go until the deletion of the domain. So spam is, we have to take care about spam because in all the case, it's not real spam, okay? So here is our statistics. So how you can see it's very low about abuses. So we have a monitoring tool. It's a AFNIC tool. AFNIC is the .fr, and it's our backend registry. And it's AFNIC who pushed the abuse report system. Okay, so as you can see, if you check online, you will see that it's real local website. Where is it? Here, liote.alsace. It's something on healthcare. So it's real website. Okay, it's not just domain for scam. This is Strasbourg, my city. So it's a geographic TLD, so of course it's a limited area. So Alsace is very small in France, it's 2 million people. So the market, of course, is quite low. 2 million people, but with a very, very strong identity. So usually Alsatians are speaking Alsatian, it's a little bit like German, because we are very close to German. Our history is sometimes difficult, so people are speaking easily German, and as you can see, we are in the middle of Europe, and you can feel it when you come in Alsace. Okay, so we have lots of registrants. Main part of the registrants are from Alsace, more than 90%, but you have lots of registrants too from Germany and Switzerland. The strategy of Alsace is to focus, of course, on small and on small businesses and mid businesses, and usually it's business that are registering one domain name and they just use it for their website and emails. Okay, in France, small businesses are not registering domain names; they don't have portfolio. Okay, and that's why, in a way, that in France you can have .fr with around 4 million domain name, and just next here in Germany, you have .de, who have 16 million domain names, something like this. It's huge. It's because, okay, we don't have the same culture with domain names. It's quite difficult in France. So as I said, user has more single user domain. That's finished. Thank you. I hope you understand now what is the geo.
Thank you, Benjamin, for this.
It was just a few words about the result. As you can see, we have a very low level of abuse, no phishing, no scams, no malware. And I hope that ICANN will push geos at the next round, because I think it's successful TLDs, and I think ICANN should push them to show that you can have very nice TLDs and who are working very well on this space. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. So first, as Joe just also said, ICANN this, ICANN that, we are ICANN, right? There's a board, there's staff, but there's also a community, and the community sets actually the policies. And we've learned from the previous round, this is why it's more complex, well, more detailed, at least for this round. Thank you also for sharing your experience, because what you clearly say is, this is how you can make a difference with a new domain, even if it isn't as big as .com. Thank you also for highlighting the DNS abuse that you're actually actively fighting and do so successfully, and also mentioning the example of email, where you just have a problem and you need to resolve it. So how do you see the future in terms of challenges to make sure that this remains sharp? And what would you advise other GeoTLDs to do in their setup? The new ones.
I think registries like geos should push solutions like DMARC, okay? Because to make area more clear and secure. And I think maybe the ICANN and the community should push registrars and registries to adopt solutions like this. Not only DNSSEC, okay, it's done, we have it, but to push DMARC on SPF or solution like this. And I don't know if it's something that we could add on the contract with ICANN, but probably very difficult. But
if the community says so, but ICANN also focuses at its mission, as Chris Mondini rightly said this morning. So thank you for that. Any other questions from the room?
thank you. Tess?
Thank you very much, then. Oh, Kieran. Then we have our next speaker here, straight from on the Nominet board. We met more than 10 years ago. He interviewed me then, so now it's my honor to interview you and to welcome you to talk about Nominet and its exemplary approach for the public interest for their domain holders.
Okay.
So, Kieran, please, take the floor.
Hi. I have a few slides. It won't be too slide heavy. Here we go. Do I have control? Here we go. Yeah, so hi, my name's Kieran McCarthy. I'm on the Nominet board as the member elected NED, which means that you put me there, so I kind of represent your interests. And I'm just going to give you a quick run through about what's going on with Nominet right now.